Okay. So today we will be talking about the another topic called network security group, which is a kind of security related service available in Azure. Okay. So this will help us to increase the security of the services whatever we are running in the Azure or any cloud. Okay. See, cloud means what? We will store all our workloads in somewhere in the remote data center, and we will be using internet to access our workloads. That means we are storing everything in somewhere in the remote data center and use the internet to access anything, or if you want to any operations, we will take the help of internet. So there we have to ensure, I mean, even though the service provider, either it is Azure, AWS, or Google, they ensure their own security. But however, they will also allow us to give multiple level of security can be enabled. Okay, so that is one of the, and we have one more thing called NSG in the Azure, which is called as Network Security Group. So this NSG is nothing but it is a kind of firewall which you can apply at two levels. Okay, so network security group can be applied at two levels. One is at your network interface card level, another one is at your subnet level. So what you can do, you can create a firewall, kind of firewall at the network security group. Okay, or it can be added at the entire subnet level. So what happens here, this NSC will allow you to create two kinds of rules. One is your inbound rule, another one is outbound rule. Means basically in the network security group, you can filter out, okay, what all traffic can be get into my computer, or what all traffic can be go out of my virtual machine or my network. Okay, so by default all the incoming traffic is blocked. Okay, so all the incoming traffic will be blocked, but outgoing is allowed. Okay, so by default all the incoming traffic is denied. Okay, so there is a standard rule called 65,500 priority. Okay, so what it will do, it will deny the traffic which is coming inside the computer. Okay, but outgoing is not a problem, because see, whenever we go to some other territory is not a problem, but if anybody is coming to our territory, that is a problem, right? So what we have to do, we have to ensure people who are coming to my network, they will not make any cause or any issues to my network. So I have to be ensure about the incoming traffic. That is the reason by default all the incoming traffic will be disabled. If you want to create, or if you want to allow any kind of traffic, you have to go to the inbound security rule in the network security group, and you have to create a rule. Okay, so how to create a rule in the network security group? Okay, so say for example, if you go to the NSG, okay, and inbound rule, okay, there you have an option to add a rule. Okay, as soon as you click on add rule, you have to mention your source information, your source port, okay, and then your destination information and your destination port. Okay, and also it will ask you what kind of traffic it is it TCP or UDP traffic, or you want to put it in a particular IP address, or application security group, or NSG. Okay, it will ask, and finally it will ask you what is the priority for this one. Okay, this is very important. priority. Okay, so you have to starting from 100 to you can go up to 65,500 as the priority. Okay, here say for example you have two rules. How this priority plays a major role, I'll tell you. Okay, say for example sometimes you have two conflicting rules. So rule 1 with 100 priority says RDP port number 3389 is allowed. And another rule says, rule 2 says, with 200 priority, that is also for about the RDP only, that is also port number 3389 only, and it says denied. Okay, so if that is the case, I have conflicting rules here in the same network security group. So here, how it happens is, it will always the network security group will consider the priority for processing the rules. This priority. So always lesser the number, higher the priority. Means, so you might have seen right when you get the results, the topper will say first rank, the next top I mean the little bit less person will take second rank. So there the number is second, number is high, but the priority is less. The same goes here, means lesser the number, higher the priority. Means if there is a conflicting rules are there, whatever priority has got less number, that will get more weightage. In this case, the RDP allow 3389, there is a rule with 100 priority as 100, then it says allowed. So when it compares to both 100 and 200, 100 is less. So the first rule will be allowed. Means the winning rule will be allow RDP 3389. So lesser the number, more the higher the priority. Lesser the priority number, more priority or higher priority. Okay, so you may get this kind of asks in your regular office. Okay, maybe to create some network security group, and maybe to modify the existing security network security group. Okay, but as a good practice, right, I told you the NSGs can be applied at two level. One is at the network interface card, another one is a subnet level. Okay, but creating the network security group level network interface card level NSCs, it's very tough, because every network interface card will have one separate NSG. Okay, that will be very tough to manage when you have larger number of servers like 2300 servers or 2000 or 3000 servers in your estate. It is very difficult because all the VMs will have a separate NSG, and you have to touch there. Okay, so instead in the cloud there is a practice. Okay, so we will for anything that you create in the cloud, right, that is dedicatedly kept for one. Say for example you have a telephone application. Okay, and maybe it has got about 10 servers. So what we will do, we will create a separate resource group for that, rg hyphen telephone 01. Okay, and in the same RG we will put all the 10 servers and the related information also, the disks also you will store there, the network interface card you will store there, and the network security group also. What you will do, you will create a separate network security group for this particular subnet. Okay, and you will create a NSC 01 for this, and in this energy you will control all the required traffic of that application, so that that is allowed at the network that is that NSG is enabled at the subnet level. Okay, and any changes that you do, that is reflecting to all the 10 servers available there. So you don't need to manually go and change or add the rules for every network interface card. That is a tedious job. Okay, so that is about the network security group. Any question before I move to the lab? Okay, so I'll quickly take you to the lab and I'll show you how to create network security groups. Okay, see, I have logged into the portal now. Let me go to the let me power on these two virtual machines. Start, start. Okay, so now if I go to the network security group, right? To go to the network security group, what you can do, you can go to the networking here, go to the network settings in the virtual machine blade. Okay, as soon as you go there, you will see the network interface card. See, this is the network interface card for this. Okay, and you will have the NSG here only. See here, down below if you go, you can see network security group and LB-VM01 NSG is there. Okay, so it is attached to the network interface card. See here, it got attached to the network interface card, but ideally you should always ensure that NSG should be at the subnet level, so that you don't need to manually go there and add the rules to allow. Now you see here, if I go to the network security group, let me go there, open that network security group, click on that, and you see here you have inbound security rules, outbound security rules. So you can also go directly from the global search. If you search network security group, see network security groups, and you see the two energies LBVM01, LBVM02. You can click there. Okay, and you see here you have the inbound rules. If you look at here carefully, it says priority, name, port, protocol, source, destination, allow, actions, right? The same thing I have written in the a notepad there. So if you look at here, you have a priority. Finally, first you see 65,500 priority I told you. And you see here deny all inbound. By default, everything is denied. See, protocol is any, okay, source is any, destination source is any, destination protocol is also any, and it says deny. That means by default everything is denied. And I told you, if since I have 65,500 here deny, that means it is everything denying. And I also told you, if you have conflicting, okay, here it says 65,500 is deny, but here you have in 300 with specifically this RDP port says allowed. So for this RDP, this port number 3389 will fall under any, but here specifically I have 300 created and it has got a conflict. Since there is a conflict, it will look for the priority here. So priority 300, so this is lesser than 65,500. So the NSG will allow the traffic of 3389. Now if you look at, let me go to the virtual machines and try to RDP the VM01. Okay, because there the RDP port is enabled. That means I will be able to connect to the machine. So let me click on connect, click on connect, download the RDP file. Yeah, and now double click on the RDP, say connect, and you see it is responding local administrator password @ 123, and I'm able to log into the computer. We will worry only about the inbound. Outbound is by default allowed. I'll show you that. See, Now I'm able to log into the server. You can go to the command prompt and check who am I. It's local administrator, and host name, if you see, it is lb-vm01. So I am in the right virtual machine, right? So now what I will do, let me go to the network security group. I'll delete that NSG. I'll delete the inbound rule for the VM01 for this RDP. See, this RDP rule is there now. This 300 port is 3389, protocol is TCP, source is any, destination is any, allow. So what I will do, I will delete this. Now there is no specific rules created for the RDP. If you have not allowed the RDP, then you will not be able to log in at all. Okay, so let me log off. I'll log off this one and let me try to log in again. Here VM01. I will click on connect. No, it will take some time. I think I need to save it. So what I have done, I have deleted another rule called custom any. So now I'll go to the virtual machine. I'll try to check if this is now. You see here. Now after deleting both the inbound rules, any or star wildcard, now my connection to this remote server, which is there in the US data center, it is not allowing me to connect. You know why? You see the error here. The remote desktop can't connect to the remote computer for one of these reasons. Remote access to the server is not enabled. The remote computer is turned off. The remote computer is not available on the network. So RDP is enabled. I was connecting. The remote computer is turned off. It is saying no, it is up and running. The remote computer is not available on the network. Yes, that is the problem here. Available in the network means maybe there is a firewall blockage, or maybe somewhere in the route table something is missing. Okay, that is the actual reason. So now to create a rule, what I'll do, I'll go to the VM here, go to network settings, and go to the network security group. The network security group here, and I'll go to inbound rules. Then I can click on add rules here. Click on add rules. So source is any, because we are trying from multiple places. You can put any, and the source port range is 3. So source port range can be anything, no problem. Destination is any, and the destination port range is 3389. Okay, and the priority you can give anything, no problem. Okay, so I'll put RDP to the VM in Azure. Add. Now a new rule is getting created. It got created. You see here, it is allowing the port number 3389. Any protocol, source is any, destination is also any. Okay. So what I'll do now? Now if I go to the virtual machine and double click on the LB, that RDP file which we have downloaded, and you will see it will be connected. Maybe it will take few seconds to reflect that it will work. Yeah. So what I'll do here, let me refresh it again. I'll copy the I'll go to MSTSC directly and I'll just connect it. See, I have not done anything. I have just given about 5 to 6 seconds, right? You can see it is prompting me. So now if you want, you can double click on the same RDP file here. You see the connection will be established. See, it is asking the password. Let me log in the password, and you see you will be inside the VM. So this is what we did yesterday. Yesterday what we did, when we try to access the public IP of the load balancer in the browser, okay, it was not connecting. Then I went to the network security group and I've created one new rule here, any. Okay, so the virtual machine allowed me to get into the no the deployed website. Okay, my first VM, my second VM, that website I was able to do, right. So this one. Okay, so that is all about the NSG. But let me also show you uh, one outbound things as well. Okay, if you go to the network security group here again, if you go to outbound, you see here, 65,500 deny all inbound is there, outbound is there. Okay, but if you look at another one is there, 65,000 and 65,001, that is allowed. Okay, so by default outgoing traffic will be allowed. You have to worry only about the inbound traffic, because inbound is main, that is to safeguard my application, right. Okay, similarly you can create uh, the traffic for HTTP and HTTPS also. So let me show you. Say for example, sources, if you want to allow from particular IP address, okay, you can put like this. Okay, like 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, source port, whatever port you wanted, and destination should be is it a service tag or an IP address. If it is an IP address, you can add like 192.168.0.0/24. Okay, you can even add the IP at multiple IP address with the comma, 192.168.190.10. See, by adding the comma you can add multiple IP addresses, subnets, whatever you wanted. Sometimes you may need to add multiple destination and multiple IP addresses. Okay, you can put like that. And service, I mean, if you want to, what kind of traffic you want to add the HTTP, yes, you can do the HTTP. What is the port C? 88 automatically populated. If you put HTTPS, it will select 443. See, 443 automatically selected. And you can allow deny, you can select. It is allow deny traffic. So it is HTTP traffic. HTTP you can add. Now you see there is a 110 with a priority 110. There is a new rule got created, that is for 443, so that the websites will be accessible. Okay, see here, HTTPS, it should be HTTPS 57.151.112.132. Or let me allow HTTP. Oh, this is HTTP. Yes, okay, fine. Source is any. I'll put source is any. Destination is any. This is HTTP port number 80. Let me add this one. Now you see, I will be able to access the application. My VM01. If I refresh it now, okay, let me go to the virtual machine here. Copy this. See, it is working fine now. This is my VM01 behind the load balancer. How it is possible now? I have enabled the rule here. If I go to the inbound rule, security rules, okay, network security group rule. Here, if you go to the inbound rule, you see there is a new rule created with allow any HTTP inbound for port number 80 any and it says allow. That is the reason I'm able to access this one. Even you also particularly access this one. So if I go to my what is my IP website, right? Then it will give you my IP. It will give my IP address. Okay. If I just put this IP 49.37.242.69 here in the source port, if I open this one, right, in the source port here, here in the source IP address here, if I put IP address and add this IP address here, 49.37 to 42.69, I can only do the RDP or connection, HTTPS connection from my PC only. You cannot do anything. That is the reason I have put here any. Okay. So you should always be specific. You should never create any. Okay. People will give you what is the source, what is the destination, what port they needed, all those information. So you just have to create it. That's all. So this is all about I wanted to explain about the network security group. So any question here? So if no question, I'll take it as no. Let me stop the recording.